see the thought process on the floor. Real chess match between these two.
Yeah, you can never get caught up with the score early in games like this. I mean, both teams are smart, patient. They know what they're doing out there, and they know what they do well during the whole game. Love watching the game with the minds like this with a little physical play inside, too.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Houston, the engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Kenneth Faried is out there with P.J. Tucker, and it's Gordon in at the small forward. And so it's the Mavericks getting on the board first. Here's Faried. Porzingis with the block.
And with his length, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame. Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line. And though some were skeptical of the contract Harrison Barnes signed, he's lived up to it. Not an elite player yet, but is emerging on a franchise caliber level and continues to improve and is strong and consistent really on both ends of the floor.
Shooting two.
And the first one at the line is good. And Greg with Barnes, beyond what he does on the floor, he does everything right off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this organization just loves his intangibles and demeanor as a leader. Incredible work ethic that allows him to keep refining his game. Still very young and is growing into the player this team hoped he'd be.
Barnes hits them both. Harden with it. He's coming off a 37-point game against New Orleans.
And that didn't come at the cost of his defense. In fact, I think it fed his defense. He had 4 steals in that game. A cold start for them. 3 shots, 3 misses. Good thing it's early.
On the wing, Barnes. Guarded by Tucker. And that one's good, Barnes.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Hardaway goes in. Over Harden. Barnes trying to free himself up. That one a little long. For Houston, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Harden. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. James Harden, the league leader in free throws made for 5 of the last 6 seasons, and he came in a close second that other season.
Yeah, I mean, about a third of his points come at the line. He's made an art of creating contact. You really think about it. Some would even say tricking the officials from time to time.
And he knocks down the first one.
And if James Harden has one signature move, it's got to be his step-back jumper. Something he's worked on for years. And like the sky hook or Nowitzki's fadeaway, it's becoming one of those iconic, unstoppable shots.
And both free throws good for James Harden. And, Chris, you look at Harden's step back, there's a real different rhythm to it, isn't there?
I mean, he covers a lot of ground with that gather step. I mean, some fans even wonder if it's a travel. But I guess it's legal. Tremendous footwork crafted over countless reps in the gym.
Barnes, that's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp. A slow start here for Houston in this one. They trail by 6. Last time they came together was in Dallas, where they fell to the Mavericks.
And that was a shocker. Hard to believe that they dropped the ball, so to speak, on that one, and probably a tough pill for them to swallow.
Well, it's just a reminder that nothing comes easy in the NBA. I don't care who you're facing. You're not going to win if you're not at your best.
And the Mavericks with possession here, following the 3 by Houston that went in. Pass to Doncic. From deep. Drops in the tray.
Okay, 4 for 5 from the floor right now. Wasting no time in this offense road.
Hardaway against Harden, and Tucker has it in the corner. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Tucker's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Rockets. Mavericks leading by 3. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Outside Hardaway. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Well, it's the first game of the regular season. Chris, talk about what you expect to see this year in the league overall, the feel you think you're going to get.
Well, I think there's going to be 2 sides. It's a copycat league, so you're going to see some teams that are going to try to speed up the play. You're going to see some teams that try to increase three-pointers and decrease their mid-range jumpers. And then reality will set in, and then they'll have to kind of get back to playing regular basketball. And for some teams, it's just straight development. How can you develop your young players and get them along with maybe some veterans who are going to be transitioned out in the middle of the year? So right now for coaches, GMs, presidents, there's a lot of optimism, but there's also a lot of prodding and self-examination to see where they will be a year from now, as opposed to putting all their eggs in this season. Well, he's not making any mistakes up there today. Another solid trip to the line for him.
Paul kicks to Gordon. Pass to Fareed. Paul with the 3, and another 3 for Houston.
You got to appreciate how assured Paul is. He takes pride in torching the D on the catch and shoot.
That's tipped. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. That's a 2 from Barnes. Rockets with the rebound. Paul outside to the middle, trying to find Harden, and he's got it now.
Just the presence of the D in the lane is enough to make him short-arm that layup.
Now here's Burke, defended by Paul. That one drops for him.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
Harden scanning the floor. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
The bearded one's mid-range jump shot, money. I mean, he has a great feel for when to shoot from there.
Now it's ended down to David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Rick Carlisle.
That's right, Kevin. Now, look, his team is leading 2-0 in the season series so far, but even so, he said, the length and the shot blocking of them inside does present a challenge. You can't get careless in the attack and fail to keep moving the ball. Kevin, they're not taking anything for granted tonight.
That's great, David. Thanks. They've got their hands full against a team that plays such tough D.
And that's why you got to be flexible in terms of your game plan, particularly on the offensive end. They might have to try a few different approaches till they find one that works.
Well, Greg, I think the best approach is a solid motion offense, a lot of back cuts, ball movement side to side. Against a team with this kind of defense, good movement is always the key to breaking them down.
Here's Paul. Tim Hardaway making his last shot. But they get it back. The shot's good from Fareed.
That's what every team needs, guys getting after it on the offensive board.
Dallas is gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Now here's Doncic. D right on him. Now the pass to Porzingis. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's on Porzingis.
Love how Harden attacks the basket when he's close by. Just relentless in finding ways to get himself to the line.
The Rockets have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
Well, you got to give the Rockets credit. I mean, other teams may have looked at the Warriors and threw up their hands, but not the Rockets. Houston tried to put pieces around Harden to contend for a title.
Harden hits them both. And we've seen Harden recruiting players to Houston, Chris, helped attract another star and all those complimentary players.
I mean, he gives assists to the organization. He's a star and a pitchman. And that's what you have to do at this point. Team up and load up if you want to win it all.
Houston's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Gordon finds Harden. There's the triple. Cans it from downtown. Harden's got 9 points.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Now here's Burke, defended by Paul. Pass to Doncic. Over Gordon. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Last game for the Mavericks, it was a loss to the Pistons in Detroit. Paul outside. He kicks it to Gordon. Houston moving it around. Shot clock at 5. Here's Fareed. Porzingis with the block.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of the shooting.
Here's Barnes. Doncic. It's good on the putback.
And you want more of this from Doncic. He's good at reading shot trajectories. Love his aggressiveness.
Paul kicks to Harden. Porzingis with the block. Now Hardaway. This is to Doncic. Passes to Burke. Here's Barnes. Over Paul. Barnes can't get it to go. Rockets leading by 3. Harden the pass to Fareed. And the dunk by Fareed.
He's terrific at finding an open man. I mean, good awareness from the floor, from the combo guard. Harden.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Every year there seem to be a few rookies, C-Web, who immediately show that they should have been drafted a lot higher. Why is there the difficulty in placing these guys where they should be drafted? Why are evaluations sometimes wrong?
Evaluations, they can be so iffy because of a team skill set. I tell a lot of players when they come into the NBA, don't be frustrated after your first year or second year if you haven't played the way that you want. In order to be a great basketball player, you have to have a great situation, a team that needs you to do certain things at certain times that you can do for them. And so I think why evaluating is so hard is because you're evaluating the player and then evaluating the unknown, how they fit in with these different pieces that have already been established on your team. And that's kind of the wild card. You can know if a guy can shoot, dribble, and pass, but how does it work with the other players on the team? And so there's some GMs that have missed out on a lot of great talent, but you can't beat them all up because it's so many moving parts into this evaluation that usually it's easier to get it wrong than right.
Here's Lee following the basket by Chris Paul. Now here's Lee over Rivers. They get the rebound. Kleba, second shot opportunity. He takes it up and lays it in.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Paul surveying the floor. Lays it up off the glass. Paul's got his third basket of the night right there.
So crafty inside of me. Paul's been successful for many years at challenging the heart of your defense.
Here's Powell. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here's Brunson. That 3 off the mark. Houston leading by 7. And here's Rivers. Kicks to Paul. Got a hand on it. Here's Brunson. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Mavericks.
And you see the lack of scoring in the paint. It's one thing when you're dealing with great shot blocking inside, but even then you need to collapse the defense just to create open looks on the perimeter.
First one falls for him. Both good from the line that time. And it's Paul with the ball for the Houston Rockets. It's a 5-point game. Outside, Green. Good. Green's got his first 2 points.
Exceptional instincts from the clever guard, Paul. I mean, reading the D, making the right pass.
Lee outside. Kleba kicks to Lee. Dallas moving it around. And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That is his first foul of the game. And the Mavericks making a change here. Harris is checked in. .141 left in the first quarter. The feed to Powell. Harris against Paul. 4 on the shot clock. Releases. Misses off the right iron.
You got to give the D credit there. It affected him. He didn't have much room to get the shot off.
Rivers with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Kleba with the rebound.
Oh, just incredible. That spin shook him loose from the defender, but he just couldn't gather his balance there to follow through with the shot.
Now here's Powell. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And his impact wasn't just on offense. He played great D, blocked 2 shots. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot he didn't do in that game.
An even 3-on-3 break. Powell with the steal. Harris looking it over. Rivers against Lee. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
You got to love to see the tenacity from Lee on that play. He's so aggressive on the drive.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It's good. 9 points for Chris Paul. 23 seconds left to play in the first. Paul against Harris. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Mavericks have been excellent at the free throw line here today. A flawless 6 for 6.
One shot, gentlemen.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
Look, he's 6'5", 200 pounds. Lee is no easy cover. You got to love this guy's intensity.
15 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Harris against Paul. Harris finds Nowitzki. Over Ennis. Off target with the fadeaway. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Rockets lead by 6. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, you know, I used to watch those guys play a lot.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
They've gotten that perimeter game going in that first, and for me, that was the difference.
Well, and not only in terms of building the lead, but now the defense has to extend itself. That leads to other opportunities.
Taking a look at the Rockets. You've got Ennis, Paul out there with Austin Rivers. Then there's Nene, and it's Green in at the 3 spot. As you talk about IQ for the game, skill and competitive desire, few can rival Chris Paul.
Well, his buddies LeBron and Wade tease him about having a Napoleon complex. But whatever the reason, his motivation and perfection, it's impossible to mistake.
Shoots from 12. It's not going to go for him. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Finney Smith passes to Harris. He dishes it to Lee. Shot clock at 6. Fires from 14, and he hits the jump shot. Lee's got his second basket of the night. Rockets leading by 9. Al Paul. He's coming off a 10-point game against New Orleans. Over Harris. Another miss by Houston.
He had 1 3-pointer in the first, but still searching for that second.
Finney Smith kicks to Kleba. Here's Nowitzki. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. You know what, Greg? There may not be a more likable superstar in the NBA than Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, everyone loves Nowitzki.
And a large part of that is just Dirk plays the game with a smile on his face, it seems, at all times. His play style is one that is hard to root against, having so much skill in the body of a 7-footer. And it's one thing to be respected by everybody. It's another to be loved by everyone in that regard. And Dirk's, he's one of a kind.
And he makes the first. Chris, when you played against a team that you had played on before, did you feel any extra motivation to do well against them?
Always. They always got the business. Whether it was I left Golden State and went to Washington, had to give them a triple-double and 40 there. Whether it was after I left Washington, had to come back and give them a triple-double and beat them bad and hug the crowd after. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of motivation. You definitely want to make sure you give your ex-team the business and make them regret, at least for, the 24 hours until the next game, that they let you go.
I love that thought process. That's fun. Now here's Paul over Harris, and Paul gets it to go in. Paul's got 7 now in this quarter. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Mavericks trail by 9. Now here is Harris. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Pistons in Detroit. Kleba, no good. And so it's Paul bringing it up for Houston. Shots good by Green. And it's an 11-point Rocket lead.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
And so it's Dallas with it. Following the score by Houston. 5 to shoot. Lee outside. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Rockets leading by 11. Pass to Rivers. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. And Houston again with the bucket.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Yeah, of the two teams, they're taking the more makeable shots. Let's see if they can sustain it throughout the game.
Dallas calls timeout.
Yeah, and the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
A different look for Dallas. Porzingis is checked in for Maxi Kleba. Barnes comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Doncic is subbed in for Courtney Lee. Houston with a big group substitution here. Kenneth Faried's checked in for Nene. P.J. Tucker comes in for James Ennis. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Green. And it's Harden in for Chris Paul. Stolen by Gordon. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Harden inside the three-point line, and the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
The confidence Harden has, I mean, he knows the D is on him. It doesn't stop him from firing.
Harris passes to Doncic. To end the run, it's in. That's his third field goal of the game. He's 3 for 5.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
There's the pass to Harden. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
Oh, that's just the confidence Harden has in himself. I mean, ready to fire as soon as he receives the pass.
Harris outside. Over in the corner, Porzingis. Pass to Doncic. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on James Harden.
And looking at Luka Doncic, incredibly mature for his age. Physically, the broad shoulders, weighing in about 230. Mentally, though, advanced understanding of how to play the game.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Doncic. You know, Greg, it's amazing that Doncic, at his age, could already have such a complete offensive game.
I mean, a terrific skill set. In Europe, Doncic spent plenty of time as a primary ball handler. Obviously can score in a number of ways, just a versatile threat.
And so he makes both from the line.
Yeah, the versatility and competitive fire of Doncic is impressive. You can just tell this kid loves to play the game.
Now here's Harden. 13 points in the game. And Harden with the stuff.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Rivers. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points. He kicks to Gordon. Passes it to Faried. A second chance effort. Good on the shot. Faried's got 6.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Brunson the pass to Nowitzki. Inside. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Tucker. Now here's Rivers. Guarded closely. Harden outside. Houston moving it around. No good with the triple.
Strong D on the perimeter. That's how you got to play him.
Over in the corner, Barnes sinks the triple. 11 points in the game.
And look, the D has to be talking out there. They can't make threes that easy for them.
Houston leading by 14. Rivers kicks it to Tucker. On the wing, Gordon. Defended by Nowitzki. And that's a foul called on Porzingis. That'll be his second foul of the game. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for the Mavericks. To the middle. Porzingis with the block. Outside Hardaway. Pass to Porzingis. Here's Brunson. He's guarded by Rivers. And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That'll be his second foul of the game. Dallas calls timeout.
Kristaps Porzingis, standing 7'3". He's played power forward early in his NBA career, but with that height, his future, it could be at the center position.
We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Paul.
And everything he's touched has turned to gold. If you are on defense, you have to make sure all 5 players know exactly where he is at all times, because if he gets a sliver of a look, he'll get it done.
On defense, the Rockets. Stolen by Fareed. Rivers scanning the floor. There's the dish to Fareed. Kicks it to Gordon. Launches it. Sinks the three-pointer. Gordon's got his second basket of the night. And with Porzingis having the ACL tear, Greg, maybe losing some of his lateral quickness, perhaps accelerating his move to the 5.
I mean, part of his rehab was hitting the weights and just adding strength. I think, if anything, his offensive skill set, though, even more impactful at the 5. I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Now here's Harden. 15 points in the game. Rivers in the corner. Oh, Fareed in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Here's Doncic. He's got 9. Right side Hardaway. And the pass to Brunson. 4 on the clock. Over Rivers. Brunson, no good. And here are the Rockets now. They're on a 19-7 run. And that's a foul called on Porzingis. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Powell, he's checked in for Doncic. And Tucker kicks to Harden. Back to Tucker. There's the 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Their next game is at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. And Hardaway gets it to go. Rockets leading by 17. Harden outside. From past the arc. Powell pulls it in. Dallas has gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. The offensive rebound, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. So he makes one of two as the second one misses. And Kenneth Faried, an outstanding performance with Team USA in 2014. But, Greg, his minutes have gone down in recent seasons.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great rebounder. He's got all the athleticism you need, but he's not a shooter or a big-time defender. In today's game, you need your big man to do at least one of those two.
They haven't been able to count on his scoring tonight, but still, here they are in the lead.
Pass to Brunson. Outside, Porzingis. Hardaway up top. Just 5 on the clock. From the wing. And the shot falls short this time.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Well, this is what he likes to do. Try to break your spirit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're already getting dogged out there. I mean, and now he's landing body blows.
Here's Brunson. 9 points last game. Floats one. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game.
Well, the location of that assist was awesome. That was a sweet lead pass.
And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Rockets. To the paint. Wants to get it to Faried and does. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And what can you say about an alley-oop from that far away?
You can't say anything. It was pure beauty. Barnes outside. The three-pointer is right on target. Barnes has got 14 points for the game.
That's the second long-range bomb in the quarter after a slow first period. He is on a roll.
Harden draws the double. He kicks it to Tucker. Again with the block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. Here's Brunson. He's guarded by Rivers. Hardaway finds Porzingis. Back to Hardaway. Floats one up. Goes back up. And it's Porzingis laying it in.
Look, he doesn't waste time. Once he gets the rebound, he does what he should. Goes right back up with it.
Hardaway against Harden. Passes it to Tucker. Houston moving it around. Harden against Hardaway. Harden dishes to Tucker. Shot from the top of the key. And he overshot that one, missing. Mavericks trail by 13. Here's Barnes. The Rockets pull it in. Tucker's got 4 rebounds now tonight. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. And it's put back in by Faried.
He played a very solid first quarter, and now he's taking it up a notch here in the second.
The Mavericks have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Here's Brunson. Pass to Porzingis. Over Faried. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Porzingis has got his second bucket.
He's just able to shoot over people at a high rate.
But yeah, using his size, that's what I like about his game. He understands where he has the advantage. Then he exploits it.
And so it's the Houston Rockets. 13 points up at the end of the period. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks. Rick, what do you not like about how your team is playing so far?
Well, we weren't into it. We missed the block out. We were taking a couple of bad shots. So we just need to refocus. Key in this game, we got to take away their open jump shots and threes, and we got to rebound.
Rick, thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Houston holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They have a 13-point lead. And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
Kenny, how do you think Dallas played?
Their three-point shooters struggle to get into a rhythm. It's a mental thing. You start clanking them, and your teammates start. It's contagious. Now, percentage-wise, shooting in the low 30s, it's not horrific, but it's not great. And they have to improve their accuracy from deep in the second half, or they're going to have a hard time coming back.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
Welcome back to Big D. A terrific look at this urban mecca deep in the heart of Texas, Dallas, Texas. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he's really been catching the defense off guard so far here in this game, racking up a bunch of trips to the line.
Well, and a few times he's done a good job of initiating contact, yet getting the foul called on the defender.
Doncic and Barnes are the forward pair. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Trey Burke, and it's Porzingis in at the 5 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Paul outside. Harden outside. They get it again, and it's put back in by Fareed. And the Rockets lead by 13.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Hardaway against Harden. Shot on the wing. Hardaway, no good.
The movement and the shot selection are good there, but you can't hit them all.
Paul left side. Shoots. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far.
And this is what makes Paul an elite player. I mean, he can take over a game with his passing and scoring.
Doncic with it. Now guarded by Fareed. Hardaway from outside. Another 3 for Dallas.
What are you going to do defensively? Such separation with the height advantage in that matchup.
The pass to Harden. The 3. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 3rd assist on the night. Mavericks trail by 15. 2 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter now. Now here's Burke, guarded by Harden. Hardaway for 3. Kenneth Fareed pulls it in. Rockets leading by 15. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Off target from 3-point range. To the paint. Here's Doncic. From 8 feet away, he drops it in. Doncic has got 11.
And sometimes there's just nothing you can do against Doncic. He's terrific at keeping his focus on the rim.
Gordon for 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. He's got 8.
I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
And the Mavericks call time here.
Well, one thing that sold Eric Gordon on joining the Rockets was the strength of their training staff. Ariza told him, you feel 10 years younger here. Well, he certainly looks healthy and rejuvenated.
Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Lee comes in for Hardaway. And a switch here also for Houston. Nene, he's checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Pulls from the top of the key. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. And Gordon had battled injuries in New Orleans, as the entire team had really. But as you said, Chris, it's been a different story for him with the Rockets.
Oh, yeah, and we're seeing his finishing return to levels not seen since his years with the Clippers. I mean, from his first step to his bounce inside, I mean, his athleticism, he's made a comeback.
Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. The three from Harden. Kleba with the rebound. Kleba's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Lee passes to Burke. Knocked away. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. And now here's the upcoming schedule for the Dallas Mavericks. On Saturday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Wednesday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
And for their matchup with the Bucks, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
Now Lee, James Harden missing on the 3. Here's Burke, drills the 3-pointer. Burke's got 5.
That's too much space to give him out there on the perimeter. They got to close out on him.
Gordon deciding where to go with it. Kicks it to Harden. Here's Tucker. The Rockets again can't hit. Mavericks trail by 13. Lee outside. Shoots over Tucker. Got a hand on it. Harden against Lee. 3-pointer. The Rockets with another miss. And so it's Burke who brings up the ball for Dallas. To the inside, Porzingis. That one falls coming off Burke's feet. 7 points for Porzingis.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
Here's Harden. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Oh, Harden is so good at finishing these and ones. I mean, he is just a thorn in the D side.
The Rockets shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight. And the Mavericks with some changes. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Porzingis. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Doncic. And Harris subbed in for Burke. And then for Houston, Ennis comes in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Green in for Gordon. Free throw good from Harden.
And it's clear that the Beard is a special player, a clutch performer. He loves to play the game of basketball.
Harris kicks to Lee. Out to Harris. Launches it. It gets rebounded by Ennis. Rockets leading by 14. Outside, Green. Snatched away. Now the Mavericks moving it up. Pass to Finney-Smith. Puts up a 3. Buries the long-range jumper.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Paul outside. Here's Nene. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 4 assists in the game.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. From the inbound, it's rebounded by Houston. Outside, Green. Jacks up a 3. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Mavericks trail by 13. Here's Finney-Smith. It's deflected, but he recovers it. Here's Lee outside. Rebound by Nene.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Count it. Harden's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, Harden's strength is part of what makes him special. Able to score through all kinds of contact.
Harris with it. He's picked up by Paul. Passes it to Kleba. Here's Finney-Smith, and Chris Paul picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. And the Mavericks making a change here. Powell's checked in, and a change for the Rockets. Rivers checked in. Powell, the pass to Finney-Smith. Dallas moving it around. Knocked loose. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it over Harris. Again, the Rockets score.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
The teardrop falls in. Harris has got his first points of the night.
Oh, look at the soft touch on the teardrop.
Houston leading by 15. Paul outside. Some solid defense from Harris.
That's just a quick move to the 10 and an even quicker reaction by the D to stop him.
And here is Paul. He's got 20. Dishes it to Rivers. Pass to Paul. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That's his first foul. Chris, we hear the word switchability, popular term used these days. Talk about the importance of having guys who can defend multiple positions.
It's so important because it allows for the flexibility with your matchups. You can avoid being forced into mismatches. So you definitely need players like that. However, Kev, I think that the NBA is going switchability crazy. You shouldn't switch everything. Switching on defense should only be if the coach wants to take a player out the game or if it's just needed at the last second. Usually communication is the key because there are no new plays under the sun. You see the play coming and developing it, and if you can communicate, that's usually when you don't need to switch. I think coaches have lost trust in players' willingness to communicate, and switching has become kind of a lesser of two evils, I guess you could say. And I hope we get away from as much switching as we do because it puts guys in totally wrong positions. And if you have a smart offensive player, he'll pass his way out of that right to the guy with the mismatch.
Your take is real interesting. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
The inbound play works to perfection. You got to love to get those quick hitters.
One shot, mind the lanes.
The free throw drops for Powell. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Houston Rockets. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. He kicks to Rivers. And that's a foul called on Dwight Powell. That's his first foul. On defense, Dallas trailing by 10. 6 to shoot, and it's slammed in by Fareed.
The patience Paul shows in the pick-and-roll game, I mean, it really forces the defense to make a tough decision.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here is Harris. The pass to Finney-Smith. Pass to Nowitzki. Over Ennis. Nowitzki, no good.
He may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
To the middle. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Powell's got his 4th rebound in this one. Harris outside. To the inside. Here's Brunson. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Paul kicks to Rivers. Makes it off the glass. And the Rockets lead by 12.
I love the advantage he has from a speed standpoint. He does a great job of creating separation for that shot.
Here's Brunson, defended by Paul. Brunson the pass to Nowitzki. Here's Powell. Kenneth Faried pulls it in. Faried's Rockets leading by 12. Here's Green. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
1:06 left in the third quarter of the game. Passes to Brunson. Lets it go from deep. No good on the shot. And the Rockets take it the other way. Green kicks to Paul. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Paul's got 6 here in this quarter.
Now that medium range area, that was Paul's bread and butter when he entered into the league. I mean, then he added range to that.
Harris outside. To the paint. Looks for Nowitzki. Gets it to him. Over Rivers. It's good. And the Rocket lead is cut down to 12 points again in the basket from Dirk Nowitzki.
That's a tough size matchup there. And he takes advantage of it from mid-range.
Now here's Green. Kicks to Rivers. Back to Green. Here's the 3. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Here's Brunson. This one for 3. Off the mark.
Well, you see why Paul's made all defensive first team so many times in his career. Terrific job.
James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. He's at the quarter-century mark. 25 points for him in this game as they have looked to him over and over to make things happen. We come back right after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it into the film session tomorrow.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Gordon out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Rivers. And it's Faried in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Porzingis. Down low. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Powell.
Good movement there. And the lead pass was right where it needed to be.
Paul left side. Pass to Faried. He dishes it to Rivers. Fires for 3. Good on the three-point shot.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Well, the game looks like it's starting to wear on them. Unable to get out, defend the perimeter, unfocused. It's a bad sign.
And it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That's his first foul. Here's Porzingis. Just 5 to shoot. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Hardaway, no good. Rockets leading by 13. Rivers with it. Paul outside. Inside. Wants to get it to Faried and does. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
He's one of the greatest passers in the history of the league. I mean, Paul is top 10 on the all-time assist list.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Doncic kicks to Porzingis. Stolen by Faried. Gordon up on top. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. And the dunk by Fareed.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Fellas, that's just like it's supposed to work. Don't give the D a chance to set up.
Porzingis with the ball, now guarded by Fareed. 5 on the clock. To the middle, here's Powell. That one falls coming off Burke's feet.
Those passes into the paint have to be precise, just like that one.
Rockets leading by 15. Paul outside, and Tucker kicks to Rivers. Houston moving it around. Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession. And a chance now to look at the schedule for Houston. On Friday, they'll be taking on Paul Millsap and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up against Rudy Gobert and the Utah Jazz.
And for that matchup with the Kings, I think they know how important it is to see how they measure up against the cream of the crop in the West. I'm looking for them to approach it like this is a playoff matchup.
And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Barnes, he's checked in for the Mavericks. James Harden, he's checked in for the Rockets. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Harden finds Tucker. Hardaway against Harden. Harden draws the double. And it's Harrison Barnes with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. And Tucker has it in the corner. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Tucker's got 6 in the quarter.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
Doncic kicks to Barnes. The 10-footer. That one off the back iron and out.
Hey, look, that's what they want. The ball is in his hands in the post. Just didn't have the touch that time.
Al Paul. The dish to Tucker. 6 on the shot clock. Near the three-point line, it's Gordon. It's rebounded by Dallas.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
And it's good for 2. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Houston Rockets. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. And stolen by Barnes. Hardaway with a wide open look. From outside off the mark. Houston leading by 16. Oh, Fareed in position. Great communication on the alley-oop.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. And then to catch and finish all in one motion. Stupendous.
An alley-oop like that, Greg, is so rare you just got to take a second and enjoy it. Now, here's Doncic. Outside, Porzingis. Now here's Barnes. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Clock is at 3. From deep. They get the rebound. Porzingis. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Paul kicks it to Tucker. Fareed the pass to Paul. Now here's Tucker. Burke covering. And the basket by Gordon.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Now here's Burke. Fareed defending. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets. And the first one at the line is good. Both good from the line that time. Houston leading by 17. Harden outside. A three ball. Tries again. The shot, no good. Nice D from Porzingis. The Mavericks have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field.
I mean, with all these three-pointers he's missed in the first half, I mean, he's become a weight around their neck. I mean, somebody tell this guy to be more unselfish?
Now here's Paul. The pass to Harden. 5 to shoot. Tucker finds Gordon. And the three off target. Mavericks trail by 17. To the inside. Hardaway lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult one.
Now here's Paul. Burke covering. Ball's knocked loose. In the corner, it's Gordon. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Rockets lead by 17.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Burke kicks to Barnes. To the paint. It's Hardaway that time on the assist by Barnes. 15 points for Tim Hardaway.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
Harden, that's good.
And what concentration from the veteran. Harden is awesome at keeping his focus.
Burke, the pass to Porzingis. Feeds to Harden. It's tipped, and he's able to get it back. Mavericks trail by 17, and Burke has it in the corner. Drains it from beyond the arc. Well, something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
And I'll tell you, this is something you never like to see.
Oh, man, come on. Injuries like this can change the course of a game, even the whole season. Our thoughts and prayers are with him.
James Ennis, he'll check in for Kenneth Fareed. Puts it up off the inbound. Paul can't get it to go. For Dallas, they've gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Pass to Doncic. Shot clock at 6. Gordon with the defensive effort. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. He kicks it to Paul. And Tucker has it in the corner. Another miss by Houston. Mavericks trail by 14. Barnes passes to Doncic. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Harden's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And they double up Paul. Gordon. Harden trying to get open. And the basket by Gordon. Gordon's got 5 points now this quarter.
It's showing how effective he can be. It's crucial that Gordon plays with confidence close to the bucket.
The 3 from Barnes. Hits that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Houston leading by 13. Lets a floater go. Kicks it out to Gordon. Second chance shot. That doesn't go, but he's 5 for 11.
Wasted opportunity. That's a good chance right there for an easy 2 on the open jump.
Hardaway for 3. Another 3 for Dallas.
Just a super unselfish guy. Doncic is all for getting his guys going. Enjoys setting the table.
Harden against Hardaway. 13 feet away. Harden's shot is off.
Teams can turn around in a hurry. I mean, can't they? Last quarter, he was lights out. All of a sudden, nothing's dropped.
Now, here's Burke. He's tightly guarded. Porzingis finds Barnes. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And Harden wide open. He shoots. Hits it from three-point range. Harden's got 30.
And that's just tremendous dribbling from Harden. I mean, he has the ball on the string, the handles, weaving around any defender in his way.
It's good, and the Rocket lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Kristaps Porzingis. Houston's gotten 8 shots off from three-point land and hit half of them. Paul outside, the tray, and Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Paul. Paul's got assist number 11 for him here tonight. Dallas has gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. Here's Porzingis. Sinks that one from the post. Porzingis has got 10 points in just the second half.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Rockets.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that aggression paid off.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kenneth Faried.
Well, the biggest impact he had was with his on-the-ball defense. Such quick hands. His steals added up to a lot of extra possessions.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Monster scoring run, but had to do this earlier. Now it shoulda, woulda, coulda, all that.
Now here's Paul. Shoots over Burke. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Outside Hardaway. Passes it to Burke. Lets it go with a 3. That one doesn't go. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. This was a very strong showing for them.